who just came down here and they camped out in the stairwells and told every lawmaker their story.
It shouldn't have to take that.
I understand why people don't trust government sometimes, especially.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
We are celebrating today here 70 years of KTTC in southeast Minnesota and northeast Iowa. You're seeing footage from several of those years, and now come join us live at the History Center of Olmsted County. Tomorrow you'll be able to come and see a brand new exhibit celebrating again all these years. I'm Caitlin Alexander alongside
Tom Overley. We've been having a really good afternoon. We've been live at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, talking to folks who've been a part of the KTTC legacy, and it's really been enjoyable. And this next half hour, we have some more great interviews as well.
Yeah, so let's bring in our next guest here as we begin the 6 o'clock hour. A familiar face, our general manager here at KTTC, Stephanie Hedrick. Stephanie, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
So 70 years, what does this mean to reach this milestone?
You know, there are many stations in the country actually celebrating 70 years.
Yeah, wow.
And for KTTC, you know, 70 years of service, 70 years of broadcast, bringing information to our viewers, information they need, the stories that inspire, and then community service, being a platform for those things that make Rochester, the greater Rochester area, so great.
Speaking of community service, a whole big display of the Eagles Cancer Telethon also going to be celebrating 70 years as well. And I think that's part of the magic of KTTC, is that connection with the community, and we've been seeing that at this great display down here at the History Center.
You know, I've been hearing a lot of stories being shared among the alumni here, and majority of them come back to the telethon and come back to the projects, the things that people did both in front of and behind the camera, and how they served the area. And I think that's at the heart of what we do, is service.
This exhibit at the History Center of Olmsted County, what's something that how do we get people to come down in here and look at some of the things? I mean, there's a lot to look at. It's really fun.
It is. You know, it was really fun to have the team pull all of this history out at our station. And for instance, one thing is an Olympic torch. And we've had that in the lobby for so long. There's so many things that we thought we need to bring that to the public. And what better place to do that than the History Center? So, you know, they talk about experience and exploring here. So when you come here, we're actually standing behind a desk that people can stand behind and pretend like they're on TV and get that feeling of what you do every day. We have old video clips playing, specials showing some of the stories, not of just KTTC, but of this area, the history, and then of course the trophies, the pictures. We have pictures of NBC programs that you can flip through and be like, oh, I remember that TV show. I've already done that. I think I spent about an hour doing that. So it's fun, and it's meant to be a place for all ages to experience what TV broadcast, what TV news is all about.
Okay, so people can come here for the next half year or so, or when does this open?
Yes, thank you to the History Center. We will be here through the end of the year through the telethon, which again, KTTC has tied the telethon. This month is free, so it's a good time to come, and they're open, I believe it's 9 to 5.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to send it back to Zach in the studio. Stephanie, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, Tom and Caitlin, thank you very much. Definitely some great things down there at the Olmsted County History Center. We'll have much more during the 6 o'clock hour, but we do have to get to some news headlines. On a somber note to start, a 29-year-old Lake City man has died after a motorcycle accident on Highway 63. The accident was in Lake City this afternoon. It happened near Orchard Lane. A Ford F-150 was pulling a trailer traveling north on 63 when a motorcycle heading south struck a deer. According to State Patrol, after the motorcycle driven by the 29-year-old man hit the deer, then the man driving the cycle collided with the trailer being pulled by the truck. They will release the man's name at midnight tonight. Well, farmers in Altura woke up this morning to find most of their crops destroyed after a brief overnight hailstorm. The hail was about 2 to 3 inches big. The storm lasted just about 15 minutes, according to one farmer, but the impact is devastating. The hail damaged crops, buildings, and vehicles. Just take a look at the chunks of glass missing from the roof of this greenhouse. Farmers are now left scrambling to find feed for their cows and are left questioning if insurance will even begin to cover the damages, since most farmers didn't think hail insurance would be necessary.
I mean, it was 6th generation dairy farm, but in 3 generations, we've never seen anything this bad to this level. It's normally spotty, it's minor, it's pea-size hail at best, but we've never lost a catastrophic loss before like this, where the 100% of the crop is useless.
As of right now, no injuries have been reported. On a lighter note, today was the grand reopening of the Empower Treatment Center. It's the only private-owned dual diagnosis treatment facility in Rochester. This means that the center offers both help for mental health and addiction treatment. We were at the grand opening. There was music, food from Corona's Tacos, a facility tour, and a prize giveaway. The owners of Empower say they want to change the questions revolving around addiction treatment and form new connections in the community.
My husband says is it's not what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you in life. And when you come through that first door at Empower Treatment Center, you're going to be part of the family at that point. You don't just get one counselor, you get the whole team of us. We have care coordinators on staff, peer recovery specialists, you get a whole team.
Empower is located at 602 11th Avenue Northwest in Rochester and is open Monday through Friday. Well, we have to get back down to the Olmsted County History Center as KTTC continues to celebrate 70 years of broadcasting. Darian Iletti joins us now from the Olmsted County History Center. Hey, Darian.
Hey, Zach, thanks so much for holding it down at the station there, bringing those important headlines to the viewers. So I've been hanging out here at the History Center of Olmsted County for a few hours now, and it's just been so great seeing people actually interact with this exhibit. We've got a lot of cool stuff here. Behind me here is one of the greatest honors that we've recently received. It's a Service to America Award that we received on the national level for our work with the Eagles Cancer Telethon that we do every year, and we've raised over $20 million for cancer research. So it's just absolutely incredible to have this on display here and have people see this gorgeous trophy. So let's go a little more this way. We see we've got some people checking out some of the artifacts, you could call them, over here. Some people on our team actually dug through boxes and boxes of old, really cool things. So some of them are on display here. We've got some film right here that's actually what we used to record our video on. Comparing that to SD cards nowadays is just incredible. We've got some old microphones, some sort of mugs over there. Just a lot of cool stuff that you can come by and take a trip down memory lane. This it can be a really great place for people who grew up in the Rochester area to kind of reminisce on some of the things that have happened and the stories that have been told over the years. And it's just been great seeing people interact and seeing you two interact with people that you have worked with in the past years. And it's just been so great to see the turnout and everybody reconnecting. It's just been incredible.
Yeah, and we can't wait for the public to get down to see these pieces for themselves. We're so excited that we have this opportunity with the History Center. We're going to take a really quick break, and then we'll have much more from down here, as well as more news, weather, and sports later on. Don't forget, here's your local allergy report. Hey everyone, we are live here at the History Center of Olmsted County, and one of the really cool things about being at KTTC 70 years, right, is how many people come into the newsroom, come out of the newsroom. There are many who stay quite a bit. Ted Schmidt here, he looks pretty familiar. He's been here, what did we say, 24 years?
24 years, yeah, since the very end of '99.
So we're celebrating with many different KTTC alumni here tonight at the History Center. What's it like to see people that you worked with for all these years?
It's been great. I mean, it's exciting to see some of these people, and some of them have never changed, 15, 20 years later. It's just great to catch up and to learn so much about what they had experienced early on in their careers, how we overlapped, and some of these people have been there for way longer than me. And then seeing, people like Jeremiah Jacobson, he was one of my first co-anchors here. It was back when it was called News Center Today. We worked together on that show for 7 years.
And you know what I told him, Ted? I said, Jeremiah, don't be upset when I tell you this. I used to grow up watching you because I wanted Ted to say that it was a snow day every morning. And he goes, that's what everybody says. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I grew up watching him too. I do, but he's actually younger than I am. But it's been fantastic. A lot of fun.
And let's meet the other gentleman who's here. He was behind the scenes at KTTC, Tom.
Yes, Matt Saskey was our executive producer, and from 1998 to 2001. So when I started in 2000, this was the guy producing the news. And Matt, welcome, first of all. We were talking about technology. What was technology like when you were producing the 6 and 10 o'clock news?
Well, I mean, we didn't have these lovely devices. I had to sit at a computer screen and scroll through literally the prompter for the anchors to read. I was in their ear telling them whether or not a story was dropped or a story was added. I would have to keep things on time. So, one of the greatest experience I had was producing the Lewiston tornado, where we had, live coverage for almost the entire evening.
What year was that again?
1999. Yep. It was in June, and we went through the Tonight Show. So we went and we overdid something that we never can do.
Right.
And, because it was a big deal, and we had to wait for video. You guys don't have to wait for video as often. I had to literally wait until a car drove from Lewiston to give us video of that, because it happened in the evening.
And we've talked about this too, I think, during the 5 o'clock, where we had much larger cameras, and now we're getting a lot of video from viewers, and we're doing a lot of things right off of our iPhones.
And our newscast, Tom, basically you couldn't watch it anywhere else.
Right.
So when I would produce a newscast and you would be on the air and you say goodbye, it was gone. You could not find it anywhere else. And so today, you have so many more ways to find news at different times, and people can watch it whenever they want. And that's just a great added ability of technology.
Well, Matt, it was fun working with you a long time ago, and Ted, it's fun to continue to work with you as well. So, all right, thanks, guys, for being part of the show today. And I think we're going to toss it to Zach for some of the news headlines. Zach?
All right, Tom, thank you very much. And definitely some more fun to come from the Olmsted County History Center. But as KTTC continues to celebrate our 70-year anniversary, we have looked at many decades through KTTC's history. So many ups and downs took place over the years, and every time Rochester and Southeast Minnesota prevailed. Our Kelsey Merrier shares some of the memories and moments for the next 10 years, 1993 to 2002.
TV 10. KTTC Rochester.
The year was 1993. KTTC was celebrating 40 years on the air. Over the next decade, a lot would happen in Rochester, Southeast Minnesota, and the country. One of 1993's top stories for KTTC was IBM's shocking decision to cut its worldwide workforce.
Rochester's second largest employer announced in March that some 1,900 workers would be without jobs.
At the time, IBM employed 223,000 people in the U.S. 7,800 of them worked in Rochester. Big Blue began the process of cutting 700 regular employees and 1,200 temporaries in the Med-City. Most of the cuts came from the plant's AdStar division. Nationwide, 60,000 IBM employees' jobs were slashed, the largest corporate layoff in American history. Fast forward to 1997. The Med-City was continuing to grow, which created a need for a third public high school. And so, Century was born.
Is it as good as you thought it would be?
Well, I think it's as good and a little bit better than I thought it would be. I think it's a very nice, functional building.
KTTC was there when construction on the school finished and opened that fall. At first, Century was only a school for 9th and 10th grade students. 11th and 12th grades were added in the upcoming years.
I don't think you could find a more committed, a more dedicated, and a more excited staff than this one. And I say that with all sincerity.
A little more than 30 minutes east of Rochester, the town of Lewiston was forever changed in July of 1999. A tornado touched down, creating a path of destruction down Main Street and the blocks around it in a matter of seconds. 35 homes were damaged, 5 were destroyed. Thankfully, only a few minor injuries. KTTC was one of the first teams at the scene.
It could be days before all of the debris is cleared from this area, but for some storm victims, it could be months before they're allowed to return to their homes.
The twister changed the look of the town forever. Rebuilding lasted nearly a year. In early 2001, Mayo Clinic was reaching new heights. Phase 2 of construction on the brand new Gonda building was completed, adding 7 stories.
The Gonda building stands 17 levels tall. That's equal in height to the Mayo building.
At the time, it was the tallest building in Rochester, but was later surpassed in 2004 by the Broadway Plaza. This was the largest building project in Mayo Clinic's history. Located at the heart of the campus, Gonda is the centerpiece of Mayo's integrated practice.
It's amazing. It's a work of art.
This is a KTTC News Center special report.
Later that year, an attack on America.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
4 coordinated suicide terrorist attacks had Americans in shock, eyes glued to TV screens, watching the tragedy unfold. Daily life stopped in its tracks.
Disgusting that there are people in this world that would go to these ends to do something like this. God bless America.
One location heavily watched after 9/11 was Mayo Clinic, as it is on the national list of sites targeted by terrorists. The world as we knew it altered forever from that day. 2002 marked another large milestone for KTTC.
Well, as I'm sure you have noticed by now, we have a whole brand new look here at the News Center.
But it's not just a new look, it's a whole new location for us.
After being housed in downtown Rochester for 36 years, the station packed up and moved to Bandel Road Northwest. The growth and success of the company made this possible, and the future of television made it necessary as we continued to build into the 21st century. Reporting for KTTC, I'm Kelsey Merrier.
Here's your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen.
Hey, good evening. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen. Live, the celebration continues of 70 years here at KTTC at the Olmsted County History Center. So come on down starting tomorrow for the exhibit that we're standing in, and we've been seeing quite a bit of it so far today. Let's talk about the weather here. Temperature in Rochester, we're at 76 degrees currently, and we have the wind out of the west-southwest at 6 to 8 miles per hour. Wind dew points have been in the mid-60s through most of the day here today. Temperatures locally, we've been in the upper 70s, even some lower 80s in some spots, currently at 75 in Northwood and in Albert Lee. We take a look at future track radar here. Now, we do have the chance for a couple stray showers and thunderstorms, most of them west of I-35 towards about Mankato currently. Moving into, say, northern Goodhue County, we could have the chance for some showers here if they hold together through the next several hours. Here's a look at some of those weather headlines. What are we tracking? Those stray showers and thunderstorms mainly before about 8 o'clock here tonight. So before sunset, we'll see the threat for some showers and thunderstorms. Hazy conditions return tomorrow. The smoke and the haze make a return from the wildfires up north. And then we have some sunshine on the way for Sunday. Let's talk about those alerts here. We do have air quality alerts in place from now until 12 p.m. on Sundays, so until noon. That includes all of southeast Minnesota. I think we could get close towards the unhealthy for sensitive groups, if not even the red, so unhealthy for all groups of people through some portions of the afternoon on Saturday. Some isolated light showers will continue here through the evening tonight. Overnight, though, we are dry, so into Saturday morning, we'll see some sunshine, filtered sunshine. Or through the afternoon, a couple stray showers and thunderstorms possible Saturday. And as we fast forward into Sunday morning, dry conditions and temperatures will be nice into the upper 70s and some lower 80s for highs on Sunday. As we look at our precip forecast, just a stray chance of a couple showers on Saturday. And then we're dry Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Wednesday looking to be our best chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Not good news in terms of the rainfall, because we are still under a severe drought for all of Olmsted County and also Dodge County. So we're keeping an eye on that. Just 1.79 inches of rainfall since June 1st at RST. Temperature night, 60 for the overnight low. A couple stray showers and thunderstorms. Look at your 7-day forecast. We're at 81 for the high Saturday, 80 on Sunday. We will see some sunshine both days, with the haze and the smoke impacting us. That air quality alert in effect through the daytime hours on Saturday until noon on Sunday. That does it for your first alert forecast. We'll send it back to the studio to Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Next in sports, as the Twins gear up to start the second half of their season, we'll take a look at some stats from the first half. Plus, motocross is back for its annual pit stop in Millville. We'll hear from a local racer after the break.
KTTC weather brought to you by Perkins.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Nick Spiliopoulos in for Julian Mitchell this evening. We get started out in Millville as everyone's favorite motocross event is back in our area. The FXR Motocross Championship continues with the Spring Creek National. Ahead of the big day tomorrow, there is a media event today, as well as racers getting familiarized with the unique track. Tomorrow is the all-day event. Practices for both classes will run from 8 to noon, with opening ceremonies to follow at 12:30. Then the racing begins. Motos 1 for 250 and 450 will be at 1:45 and 2:15 respectively. Moto 2 for 250 will be at 3:45 and the 450 4:45. The winner circles for each class will follow the second moto, and results are in. Now we hear from one local racer as to what makes this track so unique.
You know, it definitely helps being local here at Millville. The hills, we don't have hills like this at any other track. So if you're good up and down the hills here, you have a slight advantage for sure. Another big thing is the sand wash, the rollers. I got them figured out, so that's going to come into play as well.
We'll have more from Spring Creek. Check in with more local racers tonight at 10. And from motocross to Major League Baseball we go. Minnesota faces off with Oakland tonight. Figured ahead of the second half, we can take a look at how the Twins fared up to this point. The story so far has been the offense, and the numbers show it. The Twins ranked 25th in team batting average at .232 so far this year. The team's two best players, Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa, are batting .215 combined. The Twins also have struck out a league worst 916 times, 47 more than the next. While the offense has struggled, the pitching staff has done its job, boasting a .368 ERA, third in the majors, along with an opponent batting average of .228, second in the MLB. So something needs to get figured out in the back half. Luckily, the Twins, according to Tankathon.com, have the weakest schedule left in the league. It starts with the Athletics tonight, 8:40 p.m. in Oakland. That's your look at sports this evening. We'll have more live from the History Center after the break.
KTTC Sports brought to you by Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben.
Welcome back. We have had a lot of fun the past half hour celebrating 70 years of KTTC.
And you can come down to the History Center of Olmsted County for yourself starting tomorrow to see the